Today's topic is quite sensitive but also important. When big corporations move into a community with large marts, should we see it as destruction or as transformation?
Exactly, and many people immediately blame those corporations. They say they're killing small shops, stealing livelihoods. But is that the whole truth?
That's the question. The anger is understandable, yet simply blaming won't change the reality. It often makes the situation even harder for those already struggling.
Right, because corporations don't just retreat when people complain. If anything, resistance without strategy can drain more money and energy.
So maybe we need to ask, why do these companies expand like this in the first place? It's not usually the CEO personally saying, let's crush that town.
True, it's often the intellectuals working inside. Our children, siblings, people raised by local families, who design these projects. They believe they're bringing cheaper goods and benefits to communities.
That's the irony. Parents sacrifice for decades to educate their children, only to see those children create systems that push their parents' businesses aside.
It's almost like a loop. The very knowledge gained with family support is used in ways that unintentionally harm that same family base.
And when these educated planners studied, they didn't always imagine the hardship their own communities might face from their designs.
So, should we hate the corporations? Or should we reflect on how our own societal structure led to this?
I'd argue reflection. If we only criticize, we end up closing the door to opportunity. Observation and adaptation can open a new path.
That sounds tough, though. For someone who's run a small store for 30 years, losing it feels like losing a prison key. You're suddenly free but terrified of what's next.
Exactly. It's painful, but it can also be a chance to rethink life direction. If we see it as only loss, we trap ourselves. If we see it as change, ideas emerge.
And yet many keep blaming. They say, the system is broken, society is wrong. But doesn't that only multiply the hardship?
Yes, blaming eats time and energy, leaving no space for solutions. The more we blame, the less creative we become.
So maybe the lesson is, don't fight blindly, don't curse endlessly. Instead, carefully observe, understand why change is happening, and then pivot wisely.
Exactly. Transformation requires wisdom. Life keeps presenting challenges, but whether they close us in or open new doors depends on how we respond.
Which leaves us with this. When the next megamart rises near us, do we keep pointing fingers, or do we find a new way forward?
That's the question for every listener to carry with them today.